Thanks, engineer, for that good question. Now, the structural engineer is supposed to conceive structural frames and determine what is the safest, frame, or design structurally. He's supposed to produce structural designs and details, and focus really on safety, making sure that the designs are safe. Of course, they must be functional. We're also looking at reliability. We also want to have designs that are economical, and because sustainability is a very important aspect now, we also want to look at designs that are sustainable. And so the structural design engineer conceives the structural design within those, that kind of framework. But it is also his responsibility to ensure that his designs are implemented to the letter, and that there is consistency in his conception, that what he designs and what has been constructed on site. So it's very important, because you can conceive a design and what is constructed on design is completely different. And that's why Engineer Charago pointed out the whole issue of workmanship and supervision, so that when you design, the construction follows the design. Now, I earlier pointed out that really materials are very important, because really construction is largely materials. So materials must also meet specifications. And how do you ascertain that the materials meet specification? You must have a inspection and testing plan to ensure that there's quality assurance and quality control that is observed all through. Because look, if you designed your steel to be grade 500, and then what you have on site is 425, that is a stress. You need a very high factor of safety to get it right. And unless you test your materials, then you are really doing guesswork. Unless you do a cube test, for example, on the concrete design, unless you do try or mix design, and we had a debate yesterday in Telegram, Transform IEK, about concrete classes and all that. Unless you do the tests, then you don't know the quality of the concrete you're using. And it is the only engineer who can ask for that. Now, I've been involved in structural audits of several buildings. And so a client wants me to give an opinion of the structure. Then I do non-destructive tests, Schmidt-Hammer, and other tests. Then I ascertain the quality of the concrete used. Some of the standing buildings, the quality is so bad that I keep on advising that though the design is normally a 50-year design period, this building needs an extensive review, probably when it is at age 40, because the quality of concrete here is so bad. It is so low that I actually, when I get the quality is that low, I redesign the building. I apply the loads. I redesign the building with now this poor quality of concrete to see whether it stands, because I give my own opinion as a professional engineer. So yes, so the engineer must ensure that the design he designed has been implemented the way he designed. And quality control and quality assurance then becomes an important aspect. But I need to point out that we have situations where the society wants the engineer up to and including the point that you submit the license and the drawing is approved. The drawings are approved. From there, the engineer is not engaged, and that is happening a lot. And so sometimes the engineer is not to blame in such circumstances. At other times, the contractor does not disclose issues on site. So he goes on, he does mess, and he does not consult the engineer. And so the engineer is not even aware. We will do our best to keep a clerk of works on site, but really the contractor also takes responsibility, and this has been emphasized in the previous conversation. So yeah, that's the role of the structural engineer in a nutshell, but we must point out that if the architect does not involve the structural engineer, if the contractor does not involve the structural engineer, then his role becomes moot. And what he is supposed, the value is supposed to add in the built environment, then it is not there. You know, suffice it to say, some professionals take role that is not there. So you have an architect taking the structural decisions that is not competent to handle. But those, they could not, they may not be majority, but they are there here and there. So, but that is the environment that we are in. But in a nutshell, that yes captures the role of the structural engineer. Thank you, Inya.